All right. Hey, everyone. Okay, I am super excited to go over Cami Sizing 101 with you all. This has needed to be updated for a little while, and I have so much information that I have dumped out of my brain today and into this presentation. I'm really, really excited. I'm going to go over all the available camis right now, minus a couple that are either leaving or that are limited edition right now. But for the most part, it'll be the main core styles. I'm going to be going over what they are. I'm going to go over how they compare to each other. I'm going to go over lengths. I'm going to go over fit and sizing details for how to size people virtually. So I'm hoping to do this fairly quickly, but there's a lot of information, but it'll be all kind of in one space. And then when we're done, there's going to be time for Q&A, and I'll go ahead and keep the record on, but that way we can just sort of know that the first portion is what people can watch if they don't want to watch the Q&A, all right? So, all right, Cami ambassadors, this is super fun. I am going to, okay, can you guys see me? You can all see me good? Okay. It's so interesting because I am not on my own screen, so I can't see me. I wonder why. Just checking really quick to see if, so you guys, I'm the main screen for you all? Okay, I just want to make sure that what's recording is, because right now I see Donna. Spotlight video. There! Okay, I got it. Okay, I can see me now, and that's really all that matters, honestly. If that's all we do tonight, that's all that matters. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the shortest cami and go down to the longest, and then I'm going to go over the light support, and I'm going to go over the original, but I'm sorry, the Demis. But I want to just show you them because some of you barely know anything about all the camis. You actually haven't even seen them in person yet, and so I'm just going to really quickly hold up each one and tell you which one it is, and I'm going to go over more details on it later, but I just kind of want you to see it, okay? And keep in mind that there's colors and styles that come out every 6 to 8 weeks, just depending on what different things and what season and all of that. And so I'm going to show you colors that are probably not available anymore. Just know that because there's always new colors that are coming out, okay? So the first one we're going to start with is the original full support. This is our shortest cami, okay? It has padded straps. It has the least amount of adjustments out of all of our camis. It does not have convertible straps. Like I said, it's the shortest one. And on the inside of this cami, the paneling for shaping on the inside is actually across the back in a crisscross. Can you guys see that? Let's see if I can do it like this. So the shaping goes across the back, kind of crisscrossed. It doesn't go down the sides. Can you see that? So that's the original full support. This one comes in sizes 32 through 50 and fits sizes 28 through 54, 56, okay? That's the original full support. The next one is the original tank cami. Not a lot of you know about this one. And I'll just show you, this is basically the exact same thing I just showed you. The only difference in the tank and the original full support is the width of the strap. You guys can kind of see how this one's a little bit wider. You see how this one's wider? This is the original tank. Also, on the tank, there is no adjustment. It's just a tank top that's basic. It's a cami, but it's a tank top. So there's no, whoops, there's no bra adjustment. I mean, no strap adjustment on this one. Okay. The strap is, I'm actually going to show you that later, so forget about it. So, okay, so this one is the original tank. Comes in a black, white, and pale only. The next longest cami is the sheer full support. This is the midnight color. String there. This is about, it's like a medium length. Okay. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out where the camera is. Okay. There's some sheer paneling on the front right here, the V-neck scalloped edge. On the back is the pretty V triangle. The shapewear on the inside of this, the shaping panels are different than the original full support, and that it's the angel wing panel on this one that goes down from the top down to the hip line. Okay, this is a 34. All right, that is the sheer full support. Comes in silver and midnight and white, black, and pale, and they'll probably bring out more colors later. Okay, this is the pinup. I would say it's very, very similar in length to the lace full support I'm going to show you next. But this one is a balanced, or one that's good for balanced or longer torsos. It has a deep V neckline. It also has a deeper V back. Okay. The shaping on the inside of it is the angel wing shaping panels. It does have convertible straps. If you want to crisscross it, I forgot to tell you that the sheer full support does not have convertible straps in the full support, okay? So this is the front, I'm sorry, the back, and this is the front. It has the lace band across the hip line there, and the gripper on here runs the full length of the lace. And the lace is nice and stretchy and soft. It does not itch at all. This comes in pale with black lace, or black with a very, very light pink lace called ballet. Okay, this one also has a little larger cups. This is the lace full support in black. You can see the lace here. That's not see-through. There's like the pale fabric underneath that black lace there. The black lace does not touch your skin on the inside, so there's no worry about that itching. This is the front of it. Oh, gracious, I gotta find, okay. This is the back. Keep in mind, when you have customers that are trying this one on, you will have someone put this on backwards. It's really funny. So just make sure that you tell them, like, the triangle goes in the back. This happens at least once or twice every vendor event that I do. And someone's like, oh, like I hear that sound inside the tent. And I'm like, do you have a triangle in front? You know, and they're like, this is awful. And then they realize they have it on backwards. So this is the lace full support. It is one of our longest camis. It does have convertible straps that you can crisscross in the back for racer back. And the paneling down the back is the angel wing. Okay? That's the lace full support in black. That one and the original full support tend to come in the most colors and tend to rotate seasonally with new on-trend colors as well. They tend to come out with a lot of different fun things in that each season, each launch, just so that you know. So it's fun when you fit into one of those because they come in more fun colors. This is the ultimate cami. This just came out in May. This one is quite different. It is the longest cami. It has a very wide hip line, or a wider hip line. The straps on this one are not convertible. On the inside of this one, there is a shelf bra with molded cups, okay, which adds just an extra level of support. And then under that shelf bra, I'm just gonna fold this back. you can see that there is an added sling shaping panel. You can see like the little mountain. Good grief, I can't like center this. There we go. See that little mountain? That hits like right here between your bust line, and then it goes up and around like this. So it just adds an extra level of separation and also lift. So there's 3 levels of lift in the fabrics of this one, whereas in all the others, there's only 2. Okay, there's only 2 layers of fabric in this one. There's 3. And this is it's a level 5 support. It's awesome for heavy bust lines, for large bust lines, but I know a lot of B and C cups who adore this one, okay? And it's also great, for gals that have more of a pear shape or have a long torso, okay? That is the ultimate cami. And then the last one is my spirit cami, the nursing cami. I have not nursed for 11 years. But the reason I like this, I thought it was the ultimate for a little while, you guys, and I love the pin up too. But the straps on this one are wider. Is it 36? No, it's a 34. But the straps on the nursing are a little bit wider by just a smidge. I don't know if you can see. It's just a little bit, but it actually makes a really big difference to me. So I've gone back to, this is my spirit cami. I love it. The inside is exactly the same as the ultimate that I just showed you, except instead of having the angel wing panel down the back of the ultimate, the nursing has the shapewear across the top of the back like the original full support. And they did that just because usually nursing breasts that are full of milk are heavier. And so they really wanted to have that structure across the back to really distribute the weight of the bust line, okay? But like I said, you don't have to have a heavy bust line to love this one. This one is great, and so is the ultimate for women who say, I want a lot of structure or a lot of lift in my bra, okay? So I showed you the shaping on this one. The other thing is that because I've noticed this, after you've kind of broken in the cami a little bit and it's been washed and worn a couple times, you'll notice that because there's no shapewear, let me hold it like this, because there's no shapewear down, like middle down to the hip line like there is with the angel wing shapewear or shaping panel, I find that the nursing tends to fit a little bit looser in the tummy area because those panels aren't going down the whole back of the cami. So after it's broken in the beginning, it's nice and snug, but after it's broken in just a little bit, the fabric softens a little bit, and I find that it's a little less hug around my middle than the lace full support that has the panel, than the pinup, or the ultimate, okay? So those are all of the camis in kind of our main line, and then in the full support, but I forgot about the convertible. So this is the convertible cami. This is a size 38, okay? In the convertible cami, it's actually convertible on both the front and the back. So if you want to completely remove the straps altogether, you can have a strapless cami. If you have like a high neckline with a really bare shoulder, you can crisscross it in the front and then have it go in the back, right? So that there's nothing on your shoulders. You can do the side strap if you want. You can just do whatever you want with this one. It's really fun. On the inside of the top, you can see that there's a gripper, okay? And that's what keeps it up. The key with the convertible is to have it almost as high in the front as almost as high in the back as it is in the front. So it's helpful if you have somebody there to sort of hike it up in the back once you get it on, and that will really help that stay put. Another thing that I've found is that unless you are absolutely enormous in your bust line, you want to go as close to your anchor in this one as possible, okay? That'll give you a little bit better support and keep it from feeling like you have to sort of pull it up. But this really, that gripper stays great. If it's not sticking very well, wipe it off with water. It probably just has some of your body oils on it, okay? This one also on the inside, this is a shorter one. This is actually a little more similar to the original full support, but because it's so unique, it's not like a normal cami in my estimation. So I kind of I don't like to talk about it with the original, even though it's shorter in comparison. But you can see on this one, it has that, grab here so you can see. You see that triangle shaping? So that triangle shaping panel really kind of brings in the tummy and smooths it. There's no shaping in the back of the convertible. No shaping panels back there. Sorry, keep trying to figure that. Okay, it's got that center seam and then the nice gripper at the bottom. If you have a longer torso, you're really gonna wanna have a pair of shaping briefs with this, or the high-waisted thigh slimmer, or the on-waist thigh slimmer, or the high-waisted brief, to keep that that band on the bottom around your hip line, to keep it down, because it is shorter. So if you have a longer torso or you have a wider hip, it's just going to want to roll, or it's going to be up high and kind of bother you. And so you'll want to have something there to just sort of keep that down. Okay, that's the convertible cami. All right. In our light support camis, the shortest light support is the original. The thing that makes our light support is not that they aren't supportive for your bust line. It's that there's no added paneling for support around your torso area in the bodice of the cami, okay? So you can see this is the front of the original. It does have a little bit of a padded strap, as you can see. It is not convertible in the back, so you cannot crisscross the original. And you can see that the back of this one goes straight across in comparison to the back of the full support that sort of has that curve. You see the difference? So because of that, I have a lot of really small busted ladies who like and prefer this one, even though they don't necessarily want the shaping or need it, but they like that smooth transition, that curve there. It's a little bit more comfortable and doesn't show that bulge behind the back of the armpit like this one may. So this, this light support tends to be best on women who are very petite and very lean, that sort of long, tall build. It works great on them. But this also runs small, and I'm going to show you a picture in just a minute of how it does. But this is the back of it. Goes straight across. There's no shaping on the inside of this, no paneling on the inside at all. But with this light support and the next one I'm going to show you, it does have that shelf bra with the molded cups on the inside. It does not have an extra panel though, like the Ultimate and the Nursing. It doesn't have that extra little shaping sling under the cups. It's just the 2 layers of fabric there, but it gives a pretty remarkable amount of lift and support. You would be surprised. But because of the thinner straps, a real heavy bust line might dig into the shoulders just a little bit, okay? That's the original light support, and it is the shortest of our light support camis. The next light support is the lace light support, okay? This one has a pretty lace detailing here. The back, same thing, goes straight across the back. You're gonna wanna size up 1 or 2 in this one as well. Again, it has really good lift and support as long as your bust line is not enormous or very heavy, okay? And this one also has convertible straps, so you can crisscross the straps on the lace light support, but there's no shaping here and there's no shaping here. So it has a nice lighter feel to it, okay? The last light support in the camis is the second skin. This is a 38. you tend to want to size up, there we go. You want to size up typically in this one. It just kind of depends though if you want a little bit more hug or less hug. You don't always have to size up, but this is the second skin. It is a longer cami. It's as long or longer than the lace full support and the lace light support. Okay, so it's longer. It also has a wider hip line. Okay, as you can see, there's not a lot of space in the cups. So this is really great for A, B, and C cups. As soon as you start getting to a C plus or bigger, it's so comfortable. I tell people it's like you're wearing air, okay? But they're not gonna get the lift and support in this one. So this is a great sleeping cami for larger busted gals or around the house. You know, the days where you just put your sweats on or something like that, and you just want something to sort of keep you in place, but you're not looking for shape and lift and structure, okay? So we have a lot of large busted gals who love this one, but it's not the one you're gonna wanna wear to work necessarily. Also, for gals who have had surgery, who have had mastectomies, who have had any kind of reconstructive, anything going on with their bust line, or if they have sensory issues, this is a really great cami just because it is so, so soft. So that's how the front of it looks. It's also laser cut, and so there's no, there's just barely any seams in this. It's just very, very soft. The fabric is very soft. The straps on the back are convertible, so this can crisscross into a racer back. The bottom gripper is a different style gripper. It's that dotted gripper, okay? It is 2 inches. And then on the inside of this cami, of course, it's a light support, so there's no extra paneling for shaping. But there is that piping that goes underneath the cups right there. And then if you can see, this is our only cami that actually has a slit where you can put the petals inside the cups and they'll just stay put, okay? There's a little pocket there for the petals. And between the cups, you can't really see it here, but the fabric is actually seared together. I guess that's the right word, seared, that's kind of a cooking word. Anyway, but it's in the center right here. The fabric is actually glued together so the petals aren't gonna move across like that. They're gonna stay in their space. So that's what the inside of this looks like, all right? That is the second skin. And then in Demiettes, let's start with the original, just sort of staying in order here. This is a 42. This is the cheetah print. It is a core pattern. This is basically the same thing as the original full support. It's just half, okay? Original Demiette, you can see that the straps are padded. The back of it is a nice large smooth panel with the crisscross across the back with the added shaping panel, okay? So that gives you a nice amount of structure and support without giving you the bra band bulge. It does not convert into a racer back, okay? And the gripper on the bottom of this one is fairly narrow. It's about 1 inch, whereas other grippers on all of our camis are actually 2 inches wide. Can you see it? So this one has a more narrow gripper, okay? That's the original Demiette. The next one is the lace Demiette. It fits very similar to the sheer full support because the top of it is the same structure, but there's a lace band across the bottom of it. It's very, very soft lace. It has the gripper that goes the full length of the lace. So you've got that full 2 inches of gripper there, which I think is why this one probably rolls the least, in my opinion, because it just has more surface area to grip. That's the front. This is the back. It does not convert. The straps stay straight, and it's got some good structure across the back as well, okay? This one has a little bit, oddly enough, a little bit larger. It's really similar to the original full support in cup size, in the small sizes, 32, 34. Once you start hitting 36, 38, then the cups are a little smaller in this one than they are in the original full support. The original full support sort of keeps getting bigger in the cups, and this one tends to run a tiny bit smaller. So if you're looking for a demiette that's gonna give a little bit more lift, because the cups are a little smaller, than you would size up in this one and get a little bit more structure here versus the original full support that just has a larger cup area, and it may not actually give the same amount of lift for the larger busted gals unless they're already perky, which I'm not, so. Okay, the next one is the sheer demiette. This is the front of the sheer demiette. It's got a pretty high, it's got a higher neckline. And so a lot of gals don't like it because it will peek through if you have a V-neck, but it's also kind of a fun pop of color because they have this one in some different colors, and they used to have it in red and purple. So it's kind of a fun little pop. But it's also nice for gals who like to have that modesty where if they bend over, they like to have something that's kind of a little higher, but it does run high, which is a turnoff to some other people that maybe wear a lot of plunging V necklines or just always do a V. So, but this is the front. It has the sheer paneling up through the strap there, okay? And then the back of this goes straight across the back, similar to the light support camis. And so because of that, sometimes it can show a little bit more of a bulge behind the armpit. But the fun part of this one that makes it really unique is it has a little clip right here. No, it doesn't catch on your clothes. If you just snap it in there, it becomes a racer back. So it's a really easy way to get a racer back out of this one if you'd like, okay? And then this little thing, it just sort of pushes down and out of the way. All right, this one also has a narrower gripper, okay? So it's about 1 inch instead of 2. That's the sheer demiette. This one works really good on small bust lines. I've had a couple ladies with larger bust lines who like it. I personally don't like the way this looks on me, and I really generally don't put this on larger bust lines. I just kind of stay away from it. But there have been a couple who really like it, but it doesn't really give amazing lift. It's just super comfy, and it has those other aspects to it, okay? And then the next demiette is our nursing demi. So the structure of it is exactly the same as the nursing cami, except it has the clip here for the nursing. I don't think I actually showed that to you on the other one. So there's the nursing clip. To unclip it, you just pull up and it just comes out, and there's that ribbon there that keeps the strap over your shoulder when you're nursing, and then you just, it's a one-hand release and clip. I can see what I'm doing. And then to clip it back, you just sort of put it in like this and snap it down, okay? This one on the inside has the same structure as the nursing cami. It does have the shelf bra with molded cups. It does have, it's kind of funky because of the ribbons right here. For gals that wear the nursing cami and aren't nursing, lots of times they'll cut this out because it kind of bugs them. That's what I do, but not everybody needs to. But it does also have that extra, can you see it? Black is hard to see. No. So remember that sort of mountain thing, the sling that goes between and up? This one has the same thing. So great lift and support. I find that if I size up in this one, it doesn't roll quite as much. The laws of physics are what they are. So if you have an immediate curve after, like I do, so I have a 34 anchor here, but I go right out, right? Because I wear a size 14 pant. So because I'm tinier here, but then I go out immediately, that angle, if you're on an angle, the laws of physics means it's gonna probably roll. So on this one, if I size up a little bit, I found that helps, but I also will just fold under the front, okay? This is our sport demi. This one goes up to size 50 also, which is awesome because it's size inclusive. Most other brands out there that are well known only go up to size 38. So the fact that we have a sport option for women that are plus size is awesome. This is the front of it. This is the back of it. It is, oops, always a racer back. This is a 36. I'm a 34 triple D and I prefer the 36 in the Demi. But there's some gals who get the 34 because they literally just want everything smashed and held so tight like Fort Knox. So this is the inside of it, so you can see that the molded cups are there, so it keeps things separated pretty well. It does not have a gripper on the bottom at all. The fabric is UVA and UVB protected, I guess is what you should say. And it's also antibacterial, antimicrobial cloth, and so it doesn't tend to stink, which is really nice for a workout demiette, okay? So those are all of the camis and demiettes in our basic regular line core. Some of those are outside of core, but they're probably moving into core. So there's different styles that have come out in like the lace. There's gonna be some other stuff, obviously more colors as well, but that kind of gives you like a visual overview. So now what I'm gonna do is share the screen and show you guys. I'm gonna show you this slide. Let me move this out of the way so I can get here. Okay. Oh, hold on. No, sorry, I don't want to share, I want to present. Okay, so can everyone see this okay? Hopefully everyone can see it. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Okay, so we're just gonna go over some other little tidbits that will really help you understand the product better when you're helping size people virtually, okay? So I hope my fan, hold on, I'm gonna turn my fan off. I think it might be making noise. It's irritating, hold on. I'm really bummed that I didn't do that before. Hopefully it wasn't awful. Okay, so here are the cami lengths for the most part. Now, these are made by hand. They are not made by big machines. There are actual women that are amazing that sew these together. Our fabric is made in the United States and then they're manufactured in Nicaragua. So you'll notice that there's, you know, like just like anything that's handmade, you're gonna find slight differences between different lots that come in together. So, but this for the most part is what you're gonna find with the lengths. The longest cami is the ultimate, and the nursing, those are pretty much the same length. The lace full support is a little bit shorter, but again, one of our longer ones. The pinup is about the same length as the lace full support, but as you like, I don't know, sometimes I find it's a little bit shorter. I wear size 36 or 38 in the pinup, and the lace is perfect in the length for me. The pinup is a little bit shorter. So I think it kind of depends on which one you're comparing it to. All of these were the same size. I believe these are all 38s. And so, so I just found that this one ran a tiny bit shorter. Okay. The second skin is also fairly long. It's right in there with those. And it has that wider hip line as well. Okay. The lace light support runs pretty long as well. The convertible actually in the 38 in this one ran a little bit longer in this example, but for the most part, I find the convertible runs a little more similar to the sheer full support in length, just so you know. But it is sort of a medium length. And then the original full support, the original tank, and the original light support are all our shortest ones, okay? Here is a comparison between the original full support and the original tank. Now, A long time ago, I took the tank cami and I compared the straps and realized that the tank cami was actually a shorter length in the straps because it didn't have the adjustment. So I took the adjustment in the back of the original, I cinched it up to its tightest setting, and then I compared it. I just put the seams together where the seams were on both the original and the tank, and the strap was like an inch shorter, except I was actually comparing the wrong area. So when I did this again, I found out that the tank is actually longer a little bit than the shortest setting of the original full support. So I thought that was a little bit interesting. This is a size 34 compared to a 34. And this is a size, I think it was a 46 or 48 compared. And you can just see it's just a little bit longer than the shortest setting of the original full support, okay? So they're pretty comparable. As you can see, the structure, the length, all of that is identical. It's just the strap being a little bit wider in the tank and a tiny bit longer than the shortest setting of this. This one, the original full support, can obviously get longer and by quite a bit, okay? Here is the sheer full support versus the lace full support. And this is, I love showing this because it just kind of gives you an idea of how they start getting wider as the sizes get bigger. So this is a 34 lace over a 34 sheer full support. And as you can see, the sheer full support has a wider bodice. It's shorter in length, but it has a wider bodice. When you get to 40, you lose a little bit, but not a lot. It's still wider, okay, than the lace full support. When you get up to a 48 and 50 though, you can see those are very comparable in width. So it's interesting the way that those change as the sizes go up, and you're welcome for my cute little toes. Okay. This is the pinup in comparison. I'm showing you really bodice here, okay? So the pinup compared to the lace full support is about the same in the bodice in width as the 34. In the 40, it's got a little bit more width. I'm sorry, the lace has more width than the pinup. It's still a little bit smaller. And then in the 48, it's still a little bit smaller. So this one tends, as you get up in size, it tends to have a little more compression or almost the same as the lace full support, okay? So in bodice, if you're looking for a good hug and you're looking for a lot of structure and lift and all of that, this is a great one, okay? And you can see that the hip line, it's got a nice curve to it. So this one works great for the hourglass figure with a larger bust line, okay? It really works on everybody. It's awesome. This is the lace full support versus the original, okay? Oh wait, did I go back? Nope, okay, sorry. Lace full support versus the, no, I didn't, okay. So you can see that the original bodice is a little wider than the 34 here, okay? It's a little tiny bit wider here in the 40, but it's getting a little bit more comparable to the lace. And then as you can see on the 48, it's equal, it's a lot more equal. So you can again see that they are a little more comparable in the bodice as they get bigger with all sizes, okay? This is the lace full support versus the second skin. Now I couldn't keep that down, but that width, this sort of was popping up because the seam on the inside, but that width was pretty consistently wide all the way down. If I would have been able to hold that down, you can see the length is very similar. I put the back of the camis together there, so they're actually pretty equally set right in that armpit area there. But you can see that the second skin has a wider bodice, but the cups are smaller. So if you're gonna go, if you want, it's just gonna give you more of a hug if you have a larger bust line, okay? But you can see the difference there. In this one, you can still sort of see the difference that it is wider still in the 40. And in the 44, which is as big as the second skin gets, that's the largest size, you can see here that it's got more to the hip line in the 44 as well, okay? The lace light support versus the lace full. Now this is interesting. So the lace full support in size 34, this is a 34 lace light, and the white is the lace full. So you can see how much of a size difference that is in the bodice, okay? This is the 40 lace light compared to the lace full. You see how much smaller that is? And then I actually laid the 36 full support over the 40 lace light support, and they were almost exactly the same in the bodice width. So this one, you tend to want to size up at least, sorry, these two, the lace light support, you tend to want to size up at least one, sometimes twice. I prefer sizing up twice in it because my bust line's a little bit bigger, but the fact that there is no shaping on the inside of this also helps this to have more give in the bodice, whereas the shapewear on the full support tends to give more hug, okay? And I thought this was an interesting comparison too. So these are all 34s. This is the second skin light support, the original light support, and the, oops, I just clicked, hold on. And the lace light support. So you can see the length differences there, okay? And then here you can see the width differences. So on this is the lace light support, the original light support, and then over here we've got the second skin. So you see the width difference there, okay? When you're working with Cami Fit and Adjustment, you want to make sure that the back is up nice and high, as you can see here. Do you see the differences? This is the #1 fitting issue that happens when you're virtually sizing someone. They say, this thing feels weird. The straps are digging into my shoulders. I don't like the bulges. Everything fits weird. And so usually what I will tell them is send me a picture of the front and the back of you. Take a picture of your reflection is what I say. Don't take a selfie. That doesn't help me at all. So stand in front of your bathroom mirror, take a picture of your reflection in the mirror, and then send me the front view and the back view. And that shows me right away, it shows me a couple things. It shows me where this is adjusted, right? So if they're feeling like they're not getting enough lift and I see the adjustment right here, instead of gone because it's all the way cinched up to the highest point, I'm gonna know that they need to cinch this thing up, right? If I see this look, this one, I'm gonna tell them to pull it up in the back. And what I tell people is put your arm down to your side, and where the crease stops for your armpit, for the most part, if you go across from that crease, that's about where the center of the back needs to be. You can't really, she has her arms out on this one, but you can kind of see like there's her crease. You see that? So that's a good thing to eyeball. And I also teach women in this, at vendor events when I'm in the tent with them. I'll say, okay, let me show you this. And I'll have them turn around and kind of look behind, you know, look over their shoulder. And I'll say, do you see where that armpit line is? That's about where this needs to be. And then I hike it up in the back and they all go, oh yeah, that feels so much better. Okay. This is the original full support adjustment. This is also just like what the nursing and the ultimate should look like, okay? This is the sheer full support. So this is what the sheer full support and the sheer demiette should look like. I'm sorry, the lace demiette should look like on the back. You know how they're the similar in the top area. And then this is the lace full support, and it's on its own there. Okay, that's where those should be. Okay, on my sizing form, I have these questions, and this is really important because I don't personally ask as part of a mandatory question that they can't actually submit the form unless they put that in. I don't ask them for their anchor measurement with a tape measure because most women don't want to do that. Most women are going to find this when they're sitting in bed at night, chilling, scrolling through Facebook, they're going to see their friend's thing. They're going to say, yeah, add me. They're going to get the sizing form, the size quiz, and they're going to start it. And if they have to get out of bed, or if they have to walk around their house and try to find that soft tape measure, they are not going to do it. I have found time and time again, they will. A lot of women will. They're so desperate that they will. But I found that I lost a lot of people because they just would give up. They would jump ship and they'd be like, I don't care, or I don't have time right now, and then they'd forget. So these are the questions here that helps me determine somebody's size in a cami without having a picture and without having an anchor measurement. Now, obviously those two things are enormously helpful, but for the most part, I can hit it pretty well if I just have this information. And so these questions right here give me a lot of information. When someone says that it rides up in the back, or the straps slide off their shoulders, or it's unsupportive, that tells me it's probably too big, that they're in a cami that's the wrong size and it's too big. So that tells me when I scroll down the size quiz and they tell me what their bra size is, like if they say right here that they're wearing a 40C, but they say their straps right off, you know, like they say, you know, B, D, and A, I'm going to know that they're probably a 36 or a 38 anchor with like a D or a double D cup, right? Because if you go down in the size around your anchor, you're going to have to go up in the cup to fit your cups, to fit your breasts. So that gives me information about their bra size. Does that make sense? That's really important for me to know. Obviously, these other things are really helpful too. If they have fibromyalgia, if they have lupus, if they have sensory issues of any kind, I'm going to know I need to size up 1 or 2 or go with Demiettes, because they're not going to want that hug, or they're really used to something being really loose around their anchor. So that's important for us to know when we're sizing, right? Surgery scars right here, painful surgery scars. That's really important for us to know as well, because you're going to want to probably go with camis that don't have seams inside or a shelf bra. Those things can tend to be irritating to women who have really sensitive skin because of scarring or surgery or reconstruction. So it's really important to choose the camis that have less seams, like the pinup versus the ultimate or the lace full support, because the lace full support on the inside has some seams under the bust line that can be irritating if someone is highly sensitive. But the inside of the pinup is just smooth lines, right? The shaping panel just adheres to the bodice of the cami, and it just, there's no painful pressure points because of that. Okay. So that obviously lets you know that maybe you need to choose different styles. If you have a short torso, these are the camis that you're going to need to stick with. Okay. If someone says their torso is short, and you're going to need to verify that. But if they say they have a short torso, generally you're going to want to go with the original full support, the original tank cami, the original light support, the convertible, the sheer full support, or the pinup. Now, I know the pinup is similar in length to the lace full support, but I don't know what it is. I just have found that that one works on short and balanced torsos lots of times. And I think it's because the fabric stops 2 inches before the bottom, the bodice stops, right? And then you have the lace band around the hip line. And I think that feel of the bodice, that fabric in that structure stopping there, and then the lace being a different fabric, I think that affects the feel of it. And that's why balanced or short torsos can wear the pinup as well. If you have a balanced torso, you can kind of do it all. Honestly, I put balanced torsos in the ultimate, the nursing, all of them. Okay. Not typically these two. The original full support and the original tank cami and the original light support tend to be a little too short on a balanced torso, but sometimes they can work. But it's not the first one you want to give somebody, because they'll just be like, oh, this is bothersome. But if they have a bunch of camis and they want that cheetah print, they'll make it work. You know what I mean? And it may sort of bug them a little bit, but they'll just love it. They're already in love. You've already sold them. They're already in our tribe. And so they may be able to do the original full support, but it's definitely not one of the first ones that they should try. The long torsos need to be in the ultimate or the nursing, the lace full support, lace light support, second skin if they have a smaller bust line, or the convertible with briefs. Okay, both of these will probably need briefs to keep that convertible hip line down. And then this is kind of interesting, but if you have someone with a really long torso, or they're very tall, or they have a very large bust line, like an MLOPQ cup, right? You can actually use the slips, the convertible slip or the convertible, the convertible slip or the sheer slip as a cami for that person. I've done it. So if they're very, very long, that's an option, okay? Also the ultimate and the nursing, just being the longest ones, those should definitely be the ones that you try on them first, okay? This I might edit a little bit. I need to get some feedback from some more people, but in general, we fit sizes 26 AA. I have personally put our second skin Demi on a 26 AA. She was 13 and she was a tiny little peanut and it fit her like a glove. It was perfect because the second skin Demiettes run a little bit small. So 26 AA through 54P-ish, okay? I know that there's bigger cups and stuff, but this is a good gauge for you to let your customers know. I have found, for the most part, this is mostly accurate. These might be slightly off, just depending, but this is a fairly good gauge. If their pant size is 1 through 6, they could do a 32. A 32 in the lace full support is very, as you saw in those pictures, it's a very narrow bodice. And so they can get away with a 32 because the bodice is more narrow. In the sheer full support, because the bodice is a little bit wider, it might be a little bit too wide or too big on the size 1 pant. But if they have a larger bust line and they're a size 1, then the 32 is going to work great on them. Okay, so it just depends on the style, of course. But this is a good rule of thumb. If you see like when you're getting the sizing on people and they say right here that their pant size is a 14, but they're a 34 anchor, right here, then they're gonna need probably a 36 or a 38 to fit over that. I mean, maybe a 34, but most of the time they're gonna need a 36 to fit over that 14 hip line, okay? 36 is basically the smallest unless I want a real tight hug. I'm gonna go with a 36, but again, this is sensory, so there's some women who are large bust line and they have a 14 and they wear the 34 because they stretch the cups to death until they get them where they want them because they want that tight hug. I'm not one of those. I don't have sensory issues. I just like it pretty normal. So anyway, but then you can kind of see how this goes up. If someone has a really large bust line, but they're a size 8 pant, they can still probably do a 38. Most likely it'll be a 36, but you kind of get the idea here. 12 to 18 is kind of the range for what would be a 40. Once you get up to like, 22-ish, you're looking at 40, 42. Again, these aren't exact. This is not a science right here. This is just sort of a gauge, okay? But this is kind of what's helped me. And then if they are a 32 through a 36 in their anchor, you're going to want to size up 1 if their anchor is double D or less, okay? Or more, obviously. But in the 32 through 36s, these run small, okay? 38 through 50, you're going to want to match their anchor if they're a double D or less, and you're going to want to size up if they're triple D or more, all right? In the full support camis and demis that fit smaller cups, You guys can just screenshot this stuff. 26 through 34 anchors can work in the lace full support, the sheer full support, the original full support, the sheer demi, the original demi, the lace demi, or the sport demi. Those all work pretty well on the real small anchors and the more petite gals, even if they have small cups. The cups aren't super big in those in the smaller sizes. If they're 36 or bigger in their anchor, then the ones that will fit the smaller cups are the lace full support, sheer full support, sheer demi, lace demi, sport demi, all of those with petals. Sometimes double petals depending on how small they are. The light support camis and demis that fit smaller cups are the 26, if they're 26 through 34 anchor, the second skin cami and the second skin demi is going to be the best for the light support in the small, for those small anchors. Once you hit 34 through 40-ish, second skin cami, demi, sheer demi, original light support, and lace light support with petals. The original light support and the lace light support have larger cups as they get up in size. So they'll definitely need petals to fill in the space if they're going with that in the light support, okay? If they're in the larger sizes. And then 42 through 44, really the options for real small cups is gonna be the second skin in light support, second skin cami or demi. Okay, and then this is available on our Cami Ambassadors page. It's pinned in announcements. This, a lot of the gals in our team call it their sizing Bible, but basically this gives you a lot of details, a lot of information. You can find that in Cami Ambassadors, okay? Okay, so Carmen, I'm gonna go back and forth here. So this is Carmen. And she sent me, hold on, I'm looking at my messages really quick to make sure. I just want to make sure I'm not missing messages from people. Okay, so Carmen is first. Hopefully she's still here. This is what Carmen said about her body type and sizing. If she's a 40 anchor, she said. She said that she didn't feel like she got enough support, and she didn't like how she was adjusting it because they were poking her, the wires were poking her. She has a balanced to long torso. Size 18 pant. She's a shorter, a 5'3". She wanted a nice hug. And so in this situation, because she's a D cup and because we're in sizes 38 or higher, right? We don't really have to size up. 18 pant fits in that pant range for the 40 camis. And so let's find out. These were her favorites right here, but then we're going to actually hear from Carmen too. So I need to stop the share. She liked the Ultimate 40, the Lace Full Support in 40, and the Pinup in 40. And I am going to unmute Carmen so she can share with us. Go ahead, Carmen.
Hi, everybody. So tonight I'm wearing the nursing, but it's actually kind of like the Ultimate because the Ultimate, the nursing, the lace are my favorites. So a couple of things. I am a longer torso. My legs are shorter than the rest of my body. So I like the longer camis because I like them to come down further. So what I really love about the Ultimate, the lace, and the nursing are I like my girls high and lifted up. So I got a lot of support here. I also clip those tethers off like Amanda was talking about, and I can make this a racer back now if I want to, even though it's not designed to be that. I really love the back support in the nursing and the Ultimate. That really helps me. Amanda's form doesn't ask for all the detail that my form does. And I found out today by measuring myself that I'm a 40, 46. So I'm actually a triple D now. Yowza. But that is why this is why I love the nursing. I like a good solid hug. I like it coming longer, and I like good lift. Anything else you want me to share?
No, I think that's great. Is there a cami that you don't like at all, and why?
Sure. Two, I wear them, but they aren't my favorite. So I don't love the sheer because I don't like the way it comes deeper in my armpits and it rubs weird on me. And I also think that the hug in the sheer is not as firm as the hug in other camis. I also don't mind the originals, except I have to wear a shaping brief with them or else they creep up or they roll on me. So I wear them because they're comfortable, but I don't like the length. I like my camis longer than that. I also have issues because of my tummy. I do have issues with Demis rolling on me. The only Demis I really wear are original and lace, and I size up one in those to help with the rolling.
Awesome. Yay! Okay.
I love the new tank, the new sport tank. I
Oh,
sized up 2 in that, but I love it.
yes, that one runs a little bit small. Awesome. Thank you, Carmen, for hanging
You're
on.
welcome. No worries. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Okay, so the next, where is my, here we go. Okay, so that was Carmen. Let's move to Donna. And this is adorable, Donna, by the way. You're so, so, so cute. When your little wedding picture there, I love it. Okay, so this is Donna, and Donna has a 38 anchor. She's a triple D cup with a balanced torso. She didn't like them being unsupportive. She felt like the cups were not right for her, and she had some painful surgery scars. She's a size 14 pant, so similar to me there. And her anchor's actually a 38. She's 5'4", but she liked that slimming hug and she wanted a lot of structure. And so these were, she actually stayed with the 38, because remember, once you get to 38, you don't always have to size up. If she was any bigger than a triple D, I'm not totally sure. She would want to stay in that 38. She may want to size up, just depending, but you can stretch those cups really well. So let's bring Donna in here. There she is. And then hold on, let me unmute you, girl. Well, maybe not. Can you unmute Donna?
Yeah.
There you go. So go ahead. Which one are you in, and why do you like it?
I'm in the sheer full support. And like Carmen, I do like how it comes up and hides that fat. It's one of my favorites. I also like the lace full support because it's a little bit longer. This here, I don't know if you can see, but it hits just for my panty line, in on the top of my leg. So I like that. I like the way that this one pulls up the girls. It's not the highest. It's not like the lace full support for me or the pin up, but this one is a good lift for every day.
Awesome. And is there a cami that you don't like, and why?
I don't care for the Demi just because I am thicker here, so they roll, and I just don't care for that. But that's me. I have a lot of ladies that do like the Demi.
Yeah, me too. There's definitely like the laceful support. I don't prefer that one at all. It doesn't look good on me, but I have so many customers who love it. So it really is personal. It's a great point that you brought up. There's a lot of us who are going to love some that others of us are not going to like at all. But it's really good for them to kind of hear why you like that one and for what reasons. So you're awesome. Thank you, Donna.
Good night.
Night. Okay, so then let's go back here. And I guess I'm just gonna have to do it like this each time. Okay, so the next one is Julie. Julie's not here with us tonight, but Julie has a 37, her anchor. She didn't like the straps sliding off her shoulders, and the cups were too big or small. She has a long torso, as you can see. The space between her her bra band right here, and where she'd probably want this thing to land around her hip line. That's a good distance there. And so she likes the longer camis. Her bra size before she switched over was a 38D, and she wears a size 10 pant, but she's 5'9". She's got some height, but she wanted a hug too, and she wanted a lot of structure. So the ones that she preferred are the 38. She's not an enormous bust line, so 38 worked for her in her anchor, real close to her anchor. She likes the lace full support and the light support. She likes the lace light support. It's one of her favorites. And she also likes the sheer full support. Okay. She wears a 40 in the lace light support and a 38 in the others. All right. And you can kind of see that her length there and stuff like that. Okay. Sherry is next. Sherry's a 33 anchor with a 12 to 14 pant. Her bra size was 36C, and she didn't like the straps sliding off. She has some sensory issues that she needs to deal with her Cami size we need to make sure of. She has different size breasts like most of us, painful surgery scars, and shoulder pain from straps. So in her bras, she was a 36C. That's a significant difference from the 33. So that tells us, right, that she has some sensory stuff or some pain that we need to be aware of. And her height is 5'1". She also says in here that she doesn't have fibromyalgia, but yes, she has a difficult time when things are snug, but she does want a lot of support. So she chose, like, these are her favorites. So you can kind of see that with her pant size and her anchor, she prefers the 36s, 38s, and 40s, at the 40 and the light support, so 36 and 38. And this is where I fall as well. I'm a 34 anchor with the 14 pant. I fall right here as well in most things, and that in the light support. So let's hear from Sherry now. Thank you so much for waiting.
You bet. Can you see me okay?
Yes, it's perfect.
Awesome. So I put balanced on my form because I hate saying I'm short, but I know I'm probably a short torso because this is a original full support, and you can see right where it falls, right where I need it to be, right above that little butt crack there. I am a Demi girl, and I never thought I would be a Demi girl because when I stepped into the Camis, I loved the Camis, but as I've tried more styles, I have decided that I love the Demiettes. And the light support. I wear the light support constantly, but this is an original full support in a 36. When I feel like I want a nice hug, I do go to the original full support in a 36 because I love the way it supports my back. I have a lot of back problems. I did have breast reduction, so I do have surgery scars, and so I don't always like the tightness, but the original full support fits me perfect when I do want that firm hug.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. And which Cami is not a favorite of your body type?
Actually the pinup. I was so excited I ordered it, and I do not like, I think it rides on my shoulders different. I'm not a razor back type of person. And so where the straps fall on my neck, I just don't like the way that the pinup feels on me at all.
And you're talking about the Demiette or the Cami? Or both?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, so that's interesting because that one's one of my favorites, but it's so interesting to me which ones fit on which types too. So
yeah.
Thank you so much, Sherry. Thank you for waiting so long.
Absolutely.
Okay, and our next gal is Jeanette, I believe is our next. Nope, sorry. Becky, and is Becky still here? I'm hoping she is because I made her wait so long. Okay, so Becky is tall. She's 5'10". She's a size 8 pant. She's a 33 anchor, 33 and a half. She wants comfort more than waist slimming. So that already tells me I'm not going to put her in a 34, right? She normally wears wireless and bralettes. Again, this girl doesn't want a lot of structure. She doesn't need a lot of structure, and she's not gonna want like a super snug hug, right? So already we know we're probably, because we're so close to 34, we're probably gonna go up to a 36. And then look at here, she wore a 36B in her bras before. She has a long torso. She wanted a little bit more support, so that's helpful. She didn't like the support she was lacking. And then her pant size and height shows us there. So did Becky leave? There she is. Okay, let me unmute you, girl. Actually, I think you have to unmute yourself. I'm not sure why it won't let me unmute you.
I got it.
Okay.
So I am in a 36 second skin cami. And like Amanda said, I don't like things really tight, and I have a really broad shoulder. So I did try the 34, my very first cami that I tried, and it really dug in really bad right through here. So I've always sized up to 36s, and I just like them better. I like the second skin just because it is, like Amanda said earlier, it's like wearing air, like you're not wearing anything. So comfortable. I'm a B, almost C cup, so like I'm not real big, so I don't need that support of my girls. I like the fact that my pedals don't move. The one thing that I don't know if you can put this down. You can see, I mean, I'm a longer person, so this is a nice long length on me. What you will notice, like it will roll a little bit on me, because it does flare out and I'm kind of straighter. But as soon as I put my underwear over it, it stays put. So it doesn't bother me at all. So it's something that it doesn't bother me, so.
Nice. And yeah, I've heard that about the second skin. If you have a narrower hip line, it can sort of be a little bit loose there. Yeah. So yeah, and that's a great solution. We tell a lot of people just, yep, stick it under there and it should be fine.
Yeah.
Awesome. So. And is there a cami that you really don't prefer with your body type and size?
I don't prefer the original line at all, either the full support or the light, just because they're just too short on me and they roll. But like Carmen said, I can wear briefs and wear them. If I like the color of the original, I usually get the Demi. Okay. And then I can get the color without the thing. And then the sheer full support doesn't fit me well either, because it bells out and it just rolls. And then it kind of cuts in up here on me too. So those are the two that I don't prefer.
Yeah, and your bust line is a little bit lower, and so that length from the top of your shoulder down is going to mean that those styles like the lace, does the lace full support work really well on you?
Yeah, I like the lace full support, the lace support, and the sheer, or the second skin.
Okay, but you probably have the lace adjusted, the strap adjusted fairly loose.
Yeah, I don't like them crisscross because it pulls up too much. And then my bust is lower, so then it just like, it digs in, or my shoulders are broad, or I don't know what the problem is, but.
Do you find that when you are wearing, I'm just curious, when you're wearing the lace full support, is it lower in the back as well, or do you pull that thing up as high as those pictures show?
Mine doesn't end up being as high as the pictures show.
I wondered.
But I get it up as high as I can comfortably, if that makes sense. Okay. And so it works for me. Yeah, I do wear it lower than what you should. So when I'm telling people, don't look at, but it's not significant. It's probably like a half inch or below my.
Right. So that's really helpful information for everybody to hear, because if you are helping someone in a sizing, in a fitting room, and you're like, this is where it should be, the people that are built like Becky and have that length from the top of their shoulder to their anchor point are going to be like, this thing is rubbing crazy. And so you're going to want to pull that back down and loosen those straps. So that's really, really helpful information.
And the second skin tends to run lower. Yeah.
The second skin and the ultimate and the nursing and the original all tend to run a little bit lower in that area. Yeah. I found anyway. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for waiting so long, honey. Okay. And then our last presenter here is the infamous Jeanette. Jeanette is a 35 anchor, 14 pant. She wore a 36 double D bra, and she's 5'1". She didn't like that her straps were sliding off her shoulders, and digging and the underwire. Okay. And then she says that her favorites are the original full support, the pinup, the lace full support, and the ultimate, all in 36s. Now, Jeanette, I'm excited to hear from you on this because this is the shortest and this is the longest.
Yeah.
So talk to us about how that works, and let me spotlight you. Okay.
Okay, so first I'm wearing the pinup, and this one is my favorite for lift and separation and confidence and feeling sexy. I just love it. Okay. You know, I get really good lift. I get a good support in the tummy. I'm short, so I'm going to try to back up so you can see where it's hitting me. Okay. It hits there. Okay. The original full support is just like my favorite, like everyday go-to kind of comfort, right? The pinup I just explained to you. The lace full support. So I'm balanced, and I have the luxury, I guess, of being able to pretty much wear everything. And the lace full support I love for the cleavage. It pushes everything up and it gives me that oomph, and I just absolutely love it. And then the ultimate, I really love like the lift and the structure of it. And I, you know, I'm round, so, you know, it doesn't bother me that it has a little bit more room in the hips. And I love it because I never became a super fan of the nursing. And so I love the ultimate as an alternative to get the benefits of the nursing without having to wear the nursing.
Okay. Awesome. And that ultimate on you, where does that hit you? Does it basically go down like past your underwear line and your...
Well, I mean, it depends on what underwear I'm wearing, right? Like technically I think they all kind of go.
Okay.
But it goes probably right about here.
Okay.
And so it is longer, but the length doesn't bother me.
Okay.
And so I think it's because I have, like, you know, a little bit of extra love in the middle, right? So it doesn't bother me that I've got a little bit of extra length because I'm getting what I want here.
Right. Right. And do you feel like you need to adjust where that gripper is, or just pull it down so that everything is smooth? Like, have you ever put it up a little bit higher to take care of the...
I pull it down because I'm OCD about wanting the smooth.
Right. Okay. Right. Well,
I didn't buy my Cami for me to have to like tuck it and be weird.
Yep. Well, and if you can make it work, then awesome. And is there a style that you really don't like on your body type?
So the one that I really don't like is the original tank.
Okay. Even though you like the original full support.
I like the original full support. I don't like the original tank. And what I figured out, and this is funny because I feel like it kind of contradicts what you were saying earlier about the differences between the strap lengths, but what I figured out is I don't like that I can't get enough length on the original tank because I can't adjust the straps.
Ah.
But when I adjust the original full support, I actually usually have it to the tightest because I'm short up here, you know?
Okay.
But I can't get enough, it doesn't cover my tummy. I don't like where it lands.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, girl.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions now. I've gone over all the details. The major brain dump just happened tonight, and I don't remember when we started, but when we finally started recording, I think we've been going about an hour and 15 or 20 at this point. So are there any questions about anything in the next 10 or so minutes? And then we'll be done with our little training here. You can just unmute yourself if you have any questions. Or if you guys, like Jeanette, you know, any of you, if you want me to cover something that I didn't cover that you thought I should, let me know.
I would just say, so, and I'm learning this, I've been with Ruby Ribbon for a year, for those of you that don't know me. And there are certain styles that I decided that I didn't like and I never put back on. And the reality was that I didn't learn how to wear them. And so I have started retrying styles that I didn't initially like to see if I could get them adjusted to a point where I would like them. I absolutely did not love the pinup Demi. I didn't like where it hit in my back. And I wore it this week and I loosened it up a little bit more and just found the sweet spot. And now I love it. So
Nice.
keep playing with them.
Yes, that's so true. When I first, and I actually forgot to show you mine. So okay, let's see here. Can you guys see me here? Okay, so when I first tried the camis on, I did not like the lace full support. So I have on the lace here. I have a 38 anchor here. I have a 38 anchor, sorry, 34 anchor, but I'm wearing a 38 in the lace full support because I liked more space in the cups. I don't like my boobs touching in the middle. I do not like that at all. I'm a little bit like, I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. So I wanted something that kept me more separated, which is what the nursing and the ultimate do a little bit better. But in the ultimate and the nursing, the cups are bigger than the lace. And so I can size down and do the 36 in that one. But I found that in the lace, if I go in the 36, it kind of pushes me together. And I didn't like that feeling. And it wasn't until, oh gosh, like 5 or 6 months in, where all of a sudden I was like, I wonder if that would work in the 38. And if I wanted more lift, then I could just crisscross the straps. And so I sized up to a 38 and I crisscrossed the straps, and that gives me the most epic lift out of all of them when I do that. But I carry all my stress right here. And so I don't like my straps in a racerback style, but I still will wear the, I still will wear the this one without them crisscrossing the back, and it still gives a little bit better lift. I've found that if you size up, sometimes you get better lift, because if it's a little too tight, it'll sort of do this, like this will sort of push you down. And so I found I got a little bit better lift in the lace doing that. So this is a 38, and I wear a 38 in all of the lace full supports, but my favorites, like I said, is the nursing and then the pinup. I'm a huge fan of the pinup. I do a 36 in the pinup, and I do a 36 in the nursing and the ultimate. I would say the original full support and the sheer full support, I honestly, I can't stand them on my body. I think they look terrible on me. They don't give me lift. It frustrates me because I want such good lift and I'm getting like none of it in that style. But I have a heavier bust line and a lower bust line, and so I have found that those two styles work great on gals that have a little bit of a higher bust line or more fatty tissue up higher. Like all my babies nursed everything out of my boobs, and so they're kind of like tube socks with the ball at the bottom. And so I just need all of it pulled back up here because there's nothing up here if I don't have any, you know what I mean? So gals that have a higher bust line, it works great on them, or very petite, works great in the smaller sizes, 32, 34, the small gals, or really large women that are in size 46, 48, 50, that have very large bust lines. They tend to love the sheer full support. The original, not as much in the larger sizes. It doesn't quite give enough lift, but so I have definitely found that to be the case. Okay, any other questions? That was a great point, Jeanette. Yes, try them, and try them in like 3 different sizes. As you get them, just keep trying different sizes and styles. You'll be amazed. I love the lace light support. The straps are a little too narrow, so it kind of digs in because my bust line is heavier, but I was amazed at the lift that I got in that one. So it's just funny how they work. Okay, anything else? Y'all feeling like you just got hit with fire hose? So you can go back and listen. You kind of know the format now, so you can go back and listen to specific parts. But this, I just wanted to have all the training in one spot, so anybody from the very, very beginning could come in and go, what's that one, and what does it do, and how do I size, and all of that. All right. So hopefully that was helpful, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, and then if there's any other questions,